Welcome back. Fox 59 is your local election headquarters. We're looking at the Electoral College map right now. We're at the touchscreen. This is the map we'll be watching Tuesday night, and this is how it looked 4 years ago. President Trump or former Vice President Biden needs to get to 270 electoral votes to win the White House. Again, Donald Trump won 306 of those electoral votes last time around. The Biden campaign really focusing on these three states in the Rust Belt: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. If he can turn those three states blue, you see Joe Biden will have 278 electoral votes, enough to win the White House. Today, former Vice President Biden with no scheduled events on the calendar, while President Trump held rallies today in the state of Pennsylvania. That seems to be the state where everyone's focusing here in the final days. I spoke with Dr. Laura Wilson earlier today for her analysis on how these final days of the campaign are shaping up. All right, here now with Dr. Laura Wilson from the University of Indianapolis, one of our regular panelists on In Focus. Dr. Laura, this is an interesting time in American politics. Obviously, you're looking at that Electoral College map, and obviously a lot of states that are really important here: Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Some of them, because of the way they have to count their ballots and all the absentee ballots, all the people who've already voted, we may not know, right, on election night who the winner is.
It's quite possible, Dan. And when you talk about this election in particular, because it's been incredibly divisive, incredibly competitive, and even some of the states that we're mentioning as being important Electoral College generally aren't seen as swing states, but they're coming into play here. It is very likely that we will go to bed election night not having a clear and decisive winner, and it's possible it may take some time to count all those ballots before we just know who's going to be the next American president.
What about here in Indiana? They can count those absentee ballots starting on election day, on election morning. Might still take a little while longer. What do you make of all of the people that we've seen early voting already? Lines as long as 8 hours this past weekend for people to early vote.
There's so much excitement and energy, I think, for this election cycle. And I applaud people that are willing to wait in those lines. I mean, it shows this component of American democracy is working. And when we look compared to 2016 on a national level, we've seen already early voting outpace what we had 4 years ago. So clearly people are energized, they're enthused, whether it's anger, excitement, happiness, whatever it is, they are willing to wait in those lines. And we expect that this will really make a difference in terms of turnout. We're expecting very high turnout on election day. Meaning we should have a lot of voters that ultimately participate in this election. And bottom line, right, when we have that kind of turnout, it's kind of tricky to tell if the polls are indeed correct or not. We'll just have to wait and see. Absolutely. Yeah. A poll is only a small sample size. Right. The population as a whole can be very different than what the poll indicates. Okay, Laura, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. All right, coming up next, we'll preview each congressional race in Indiana. Fox 59 is your local election headquarters. There are the polling hours on Election Day. We'll be right back after this.